Charity,
Yes,
grown black girl.
we're here.
We're here. And you know what I was just talking about to Nakisha who poked her head in the door?
What?
Oh, we didn't tell anybody to watch this. We're both bad at that. So
Terrible.
you know, we got to do better about that. And
Yeah.
then the other thing that is hilarious to me is we have some little theme music, but the music apparently is too big. So we gotta wait till next time. But I like
Okay.
big music. I don't really know what that means, but big music is like
See, they already trying to shrink us.
they trying to
They
silence
trying to say we
us
too big already from the jump. Wow,
from the
that's how we
jump.
coming in.
We too much. We too much.
We
But this
big.
is grown black girls.
Yeah, it is.
For people who are not here yet and the people who will come. Uh so we'll probably have to say some version of this again at least a couple times since this is our new venture. What is grown black girls? Why are
What
we
is
calling
grown?
it that?
So I like it because for me, I am my womanhood is the result of the girlhood I had as a black girl. You know,
Mm,
the things I love, the things that bother me, the things that give me strength, the things that give me anxiety are a direct reflection of the girlhood I was allowed to have and the girlhood that was, stunted or policed. And as a grown black girl, I get to one celebrate those things, but also do a little bit of healing, to my younger self, and be mindful about, as a black woman, the way I meet black girls, the way I advocate and support them out in the world that says they too big like our music. So
like our music. In so many ways, I think healing, working, being on a journey of healing in terms of advocacy and that kind of thing, like you said, I think it's just as much about helping support and heal girls now as it is about the girl in us from before,
100%.
the girls we still are. I think I told you this. One of the reasons that the title for the pod, ain't that what people say? The
The
title for the
pod, yeah,
pod.
we gotta
Yeah,
say,
the
oh, hey
pod.
chat, hey chat, how
The
y'all
pod.
doing?
Uh but yeah, I worked on a project a few years ago with a few women from different parts of the globe actually. And we were talking, interviewing women and gender non-conforming people about their girlhood, and resoundingly so many of the people we talked to were just like, oh, I didn't really have a girlhood. And that doesn't necessarily mean that their growing up was as difficult as some other folks, right? But it was just, I was a child, and then I was in that awkward space where either I was not old enough or too old, and then I was an adult. And for so many people, that that time frame was ambivalent. So it's just kind of, like, I don't know, was I ever really a girl? So yeah, that's one of the things that resonated with me on that project. And then when you suggested the title for the podcast, I was like, oh yeah, that because we really are just adult girls in so
Yeah,
many ways.
yeah. And also, I think that part of our ability to navigate is keeping, or retaining or recovering some of that kind of innocence or girlhood to have a little bit of whimsy about ourselves, right?
Yeah.
Have a little bit of courage about ourselves that, adults aren't maybe supposed to have, right?
Do you have a hard time with whimsy?
I don't know. I don't, I don't, I don't know. Yeah, that's a great question.
I do.
I think I do. You know what? I do because I don't even know. If I don't know, then of course
Yeah, I think kind of that's the answer.
yeah. Yikes. But I would like to be whimsical.
Hmm. I like a controlled whimsy. How about that? I
I
mean,
want to be I want to be whimsically off the rails. That's the problem, right? I want to be whimsical, like, oh, she's not considering what's going on around her. I want that level of whimsy. Like, I want the spinning around to you dizzy whimsy.
yeah, no, thank you. One,
Well,
I
I
get,
say I do, right?
yeah,
I might try it and be like, oh, this was a terrible idea.
yeah, I get dizzy real easy. So I'm gonna say no to that. And then here's the grown part of the black girl. Also, like I got a mortgage to pay and stuff. So I want snippets of whimsy.
Yes, snippets. Yes,
Snippets of whimsy.
yes. Pops of whimsy. Yes,
Yeah.
a little
A
pop of
pop. Like a
whimsy.
pop of color and a
Yeah,
pop of whimsy.
little pops of whimsy. Yeah,
Yeah. I
I
think the
would.
other thing too, and we should probably introduce ourselves. That won't take long. I
Yeah,
think the other thing
as a whole
um
boss, right? Okay,
I think
okay.
the other thing about whimsy is that it requires a lot of trust for the environment that you're in, for the people who are around. And so that's a little scary for me. I remember I don't remember if it was this same project or something else I was working on, and a woman just blurted out, we were talking about safety and whatever, for black girls and women, and a woman just blurted out so seriously, like it stopped the room. She was like, ain't no safe space for a black girl. So, I think that is part of our lack of whimsy. And I feel bad for children, not just girls, for black children who don't get to experience a whole lot of whimsy.
And that's what that I think that's why I want. I think I want, even if I don't engage in the whimsy, I want to feel safe enough to know that if I wanted to be whimsical, I could. I think that's what it is. It's the desire to know that it's an option. That's
Yeah.
what it is. Even if I'm like, no, that's good, but to know like, oh, I could if I want. And on the flip side, when I see it, especially in black kids, I really go hard. When I see a black kid that's trusting and kind and thoughtful and full of emotion, like I really try to, if I'm in that space, literally protect them at all costs because I know how rare it is and how, like, as to your point, how quickly it just goes away.
Goes left so fast.
Yeah.
Who are you, Charity? Oh, I see a comment that says our audio is choppy. Thanks for that. We'll work on it. I also turned off my heater. That might contributed to it. I'd be cold. Let me tell you, grown black, grown black girl to grown black girl. As a How old am I? 46, 5, whichever one I am. I am either hot or cold all the time. No in between. And no in between. No comfortable. I'm just hot or I'm cold.
We gotta fix that. I don't know how.
Well, you can't fix menopause, friend. But well, I guess human what's it called? Hormone replacement therapy. Anyway, we going right away. Anyway, so who are you, Charity?
I'm a grown black girl. um, Yikes. No, I don't. I am, as it says, I'm Dr. Charity Clay. No honorary. I put no honorary because they just giving out doctorate degrees, like prizes in the cereal these days.
You
So
sacrificed for yours.
I did, and we'll talk about this later. But I really think that for Black women in academia, it's really bad. For a lot of reasons. Um, and that's why I don't like the conversations about, oh, I'm bored, I'm just gonna go get a PhD. As a Black woman, it's an isolating, arduous, difficult endeavor, and to see folks making light of it is like I want to intervene in some way. But I say that to say I'm a Black Studies scholar, researcher, educator. The through line in all of my work is Black liberation. So right now, on a visiting professorship at Rhodes College in Memphis, Tennessee, where I'm doing oral histories with Black folks born in the Jim Crow era. Is absolutely amazing. I'm getting to talk to so many amazing Black folks, again, born in the 30s and 40s. I love preserving Black history. I love telling Black stories. I love researching our community, our issues, our trials and tribulations, and kind of teaching people how to do that research as well, using that research for liberation work. I play around in art, film, photography. I got bars on occasion. But yeah,
Oh, you be
I'm just,
rapping.
I do sometimes. You feel me?
You be rapping.
But that's it. Folks will figure out who I am if they keep watching the pod. You did.
Yeah. I hope they
Oh, I'm from
will.
Minneapolis.
Oh, oh, right. We'll talk more about that too along the way.
All right,
Why you scrunching?
cause man, people want to talk a lot about Minneapolis, and it's
Yeah.
I get it. All right. Natalie A. Collier, who are you?
Um, I don't have an honorary doctorate or an earned doctorate.
We could get you an honorary one. Just let me know.
No, I don't want an honorary doctorate. I mean, I'm not gonna turn it down. Like if an institution was like, here you go, but that's probably not very likely to happen. Especially the institution from which I graduated. They're probably embarrassed by
Mine
me.
too.
Oh yeah. They probably are.
Mine probably gonna
Um,
revoke mine.
well, they can't do that. Let me see. I'm very bad at introducing myself, as you know. But I'm Natalie. I started the Lighthouse Black Girl Projects 10 years ago. Um, let me tell you this. This is one of the reasons I'm not very good at introducing myself. Is a thing I say a lot. I am wary to put a whole lot of titles and such. Not title like doctor, but take on a bunch of descriptors because in my mind, let's say I'll use Pan-Africanist as an example. If I call myself a Pan-Africanist, which a lot of people do call me that, but if I call myself that, then I am held hostage to whatever someone else's understanding of a Pan-Africanist is. And more often than not, people are judgmental quicker than they are curious. So they're not having a conversation in their minds more often than not about what I mean when I say that and comparing and contrasting that to their understanding of what it means is just, oh, a Pan-Africanist shouldn't do this, shouldn't buy this, shouldn't wear this, shouldn't go here. And for that reason, I'm never gonna get it right. And so one of the few labels that I'll wear is I'm Black, I'm a woman. Like, I don't know. And much like you, oh good, the audio sounds fine now. Much like you, it's just, we'll figure it out. You'll learn more about me. And we've been friends for a while. I'm sure we'll learn more about one another, even just doing this, because it's a different way of us engaging than, hanging out at the house or whatever.
Did you just non-introduce yourself?
That was
I'm
slick,
oh
wasn't
no,
it?
yeah.
That was
Oh,
slick.
hold on. Damn. Okay.
That was slick.
Well done. Well done. Well done. Where are
What
you
you at?
from?
I am from Starkville, Mississippi. It is the home of the Mississippi State Bulldogs, not to be confused with Oxford, Mississippi, the home of the Ole Miss Rebels.
Never to be confused.
Never to be confused. Never to be confused. But yeah, that's my hometown. But I But Jackson is like home, heart home. I came here to go to college, and it is outside of some time I spent in Chicago. It is largely responsible for defining who and how I am. Excuse me. So yeah,
All right, yeah, Jackson. Jackson is, I enjoy Jackson. I really do.
you
I
just don't
think
want to
I
move
think
here.
I enjoy it because the people you included, right, in Jackson are good people. I think if I had to find my way around myself, I might be a little bit less liking of it just because navigating it. And that's a lot of cities, right? When you don't,
Yeah.
this is why like real community, not online community, but actually knowing people is so important because
Mm-hmm.
they can welcome you in to spaces.
Yeah.
I appreciate that always.
Yeah. Oh, Diallo is here.
What up?
Act right. Diallo is
You
here.
said treated him like we going in the store. Just
Yeah, and oh great, the sound is good. Dr. Doom told us that the sound was not doing too well. And yeah,
love it.
that was definitely the heater. And Johnny Belinda Robinson says she loves this, and that's exciting.
Thank you for loving it. We love
Yeah.
it.
I hope you say that next time. Okay, so we have introduced ourselves. We've talked about how we came to the reason that we're calling it Grown Black Girls. But what can people expect from us?
Um, this a little bit of banter, um, conversations spanning, the popular and kind of the what do we call the niche, the specific, um, that have to do with what Black girls are dealing with. Focus primarily on that, historical things, of course, current things. We're always open for suggestions of, hey, we would love to hear what y'all think about these things. We don't take them, but we
Yeah,
love them.
especially if we like your suggestions, we'll take it. If we
100%.
don't like it, maybe we should have we can do a thing where this is a list of things that people would like for us to talk about, and then that's our acknowledgement of it.
Yeah, for sure. Whether we do it or not, we did get the request for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That. What are you looking up to bring to this?
One, I really just like talking to you. One of the things that I like. Oh, Charlie. Hey, Charlie. One of the things that I like about my life is that all of my loved ones, which includes family and friends, um, are really, really smart. And so I just enjoy listening and learning and laughing. I think for me, you probably have to be smart for me to laugh too. So I'm just saying. So yeah, I like that. I think like you said, we'll do a little bit of pop culture stuff because that's hard to ignore. We'll do some news that's relevant. Um, and we will talk about I don't know stuff. We just talk about stuff. That's just what we do.
Yeah. That sounds good. That sounds really good.
So here's a thing. Here's a stuff.
Okay, let's get into it.
Uh, we have what 2 more days left in February. I think it's a leap year.
Is it?
I think so.
I don't
I
know.
don't know. Anyway, and I don't know if it's just this year that I've noticed this, or have people have been doing this all along or not. Oh, hey, Jeanette joined. Um, people saying Happy Black History Month.
Yeah.
Have
You
you
know,
heard that before now?
here's the thing. I say it facetiously or like sarcastically, but I've realized people are saying it sincerely.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah. It's weird to me.
Yeah, me too. I mean, uh, I guess we go in here. I think for me, as a scholar, right? But just as somebody who loves Black people and Black history and who grew up in a community that used Black History Month to really educate the community through a lot of programming, the term celebration seems limited to like, oh, support this Black business, and oh, look at this Black celebrity, and like that has kind of become the it of Black History Month. So when people are like Happy Black History Month, it's like, I don't know. It just feels it's like when people say Happy Black August, and it's like, no, that's not.
Now I haven't heard that. I think that made me shudder just a
That's
little on the
that's the
inside.
internet.
Yeah,
That's
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 more
people being
than
introduced to stuff on the internet and then trying to bring it in real life, and it's like, no, that's not how that goes.
Happy Black Office is definite. August is definitely more worser than Happy Black History Month.
Levels of worseness.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
bad.
I've only heard it the past 2 years, right? Because it's become popularized, which again, that's not the purpose. The
Tell
purpose.
us the tell
Oh,
us the purpose, Queen.
um, we cutting up. For from my understanding, the purpose is literally to engage in the study of not widely recognized Black history. I said this a couple weeks ago. Um, when I was teaching at the HBCU, I used to tell my students, every day during Black History Month, try to learn three things: one about your hometown, one about the Black history of your profession, and something about Black history is something you love, right? Because if you do that for 28 days, you will be a better person. If you share that in community with other people doing it for 28 days, now we sparking revolutions, right? So for me, it's really supposed to be a time where folks in community get together and study um, historical things, not just individual people either, right? Study movements, whether it be art movements or political movements. Study places, study traditions. I'm nerding out because that's what I love to do, right?
Yeah.
But that's for me what it's supposed to be about: studying and sharing what we're studying, as we learn more about our history.
Do you think it's ever you're saying that's what it's about for you, but do you think Black History Month has ever been positioned in that way? And ever is a stretch because we just in our 40s, but like in your growing up, is that how Black History Month was positioned?
For me, it's I tell people I grew up in Minneapolis, but I grew up in a Minneapolis that was pretty pro-Black. So we had Afrocentric after school programs. We had Black newspapers. So like the newspaper would post like history stuff, and they would like it was it was positioned as, this is a time when you focus on learning Black history.
Mm.
That's Yeah, that's what I grew up for it to be.
My growing up wasn't like that. Um, I'm just talking, primarily like formalized school, not so much about the community I grew up in. But it was much akin to what I see now. Just here's a moment to talk about Rosa Parks and Martin Luther King and Harriet Tubman. I'm trying to
Yeah,
think if there was
I think we still get Harriet. We get George Washington Carver. They're gonna throw you some George Washington Carver.
yeah, gotta
Um,
love peanuts.
right.
Even with that, I think the celebration, can we call it commercialized celebration of
100%.
Black History Month, is much akin to most things in capitalism. It's a reduction of whatever the thing, the person, the movement was or is, right? Because you can't sell a story, you can sell a quote.
Right. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. They whitewashing. They literally white. Now here's I don't want to get in my history bag, but put it. It happened in the 70s. You know, I think it was President Ford or Carter, one of them, one of the soft ones, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so in 19, I want to say 70, after the Kent State, you know, Black Studies folks at Kent State were like, we need to make this a month.
Yeah.
Again, Black students saying we want to make this a month-long study. And then 5 years from that, the president was like, we need to make it a national thing. And it's like, no, you literally whitewashing it by trying to incorporate it into this integrated, larger celebration. Um, and we've been fighting for it ever since.
Are we fighting them?
I mean, present company. And the
Oh,
reason
oh,
I
oh,
say,
oh. Okay.
we the we,
I thought you meant like
them today.
larger. Okay.
No, 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 them today. Mm-mm.
Okay.
And they not like us. So,
The whitening of Black History Month.
mm-hmm. Yep, Carter. Thank you, thank you. I knew it was, Ford and Carter. They get to slide by for a lot of the BS they did because they wasn't like loud and about it. Them,
You not about to sit up here and talk bad about Jimmy Carter.
see. That's that. See,
Mm-mm, mm-mm. That was my grandmama's favorite president.
I know it was.
She
And
said he
he,
was
cause
too
he
good
not.
of a man.
Yep,
Too good of a man to be president. That's why he couldn't have 2 terms.
that's right. Cause he was just good. He was just kind. He wasn't
On a
corrupt.
on a spectrum, he was good. But man, I have learned a lot more about Jimmy Carter lately.
Yep.
Just yeah. Ugh. We
But
should
yeah,
definitely talk
he
about that.
slides through because
Mm-hmm.
when you got Reagan, when you between Reagan and Nixon, you kind of
Yeah.
get seen as okay.
Yeah. Yeah, your slip and slide definitely got olive oil on it.
Now that's a memory.
Slip and
Good.
slide?
Yes. Kids don't
Did
know what
you
no slip and slide is.
did you buy one? Did you have one? Did your dad buy you one?
Of course not. What?
Okay,
No.
you made it.
No, we didn't do either. I think that the either the YMCA or the Boys and Girls Club had one. Yeah. We didn't have a personal one. No.
Oh yeah, we used to make them.
See, that's even better. That's Black genius.
Trash bags and steaks. And the house that I grew up in, there was a hill. Not a
Ooh,
big hill, but a hill. Man,
that's good danger.
that's good danger. Like what's his John Lewis's Good Trouble? That's good danger.
That's
Are you
all.
gonna tell me a whole bunch of negative stuff about John Lewis too?
Do you want me to?
Another day, another day.
I
Now,
won't. He almost gave his life. I can't say too much bad about like they beat. Listen, he survived Bloody Sunday as a youngster. Okay,
I mean that is something though. Okay, but we're not gonna dwell on that right now.
not at all.
I do want you to speaking of the celebration of Black History Month, tell the people this story that you told me about beating this little boy up.
Oh goodness. All right. So let's frame it. Um, we love Toni Morrison, you know, and one of the quotes I love from her. Honestly, I'm new to reading novels. I didn't like novels growing up, so Playing in the Dark was
That's
my.
crazy. Go ahead, go
Cause you like,
ahead.
what did you read? If it wasn't,
You was reading like the newspaper and stuff.
leave me alone, Jesus. I was reading, I was reading Black Studies, sociological and historical text
You're
as
such
a
a
child.
weirdo.
100%. But I say that to say Playing in the Dark, that's one of my first introduction to Toni Morrison in terms of critique of pop culture. So when she talks about like the purpose of racism being distraction, I always find myself, I'm not even disappointed at this point. I'm just impressed by how well oiled of a machine whiteness is generation after generation after generation to easily distract us. So when we talk about like the BAFTA awards, right? The British act, whatever, TV film, there's letters, whatever.
The British Oscars,
Yes.
Emmys, whichever. Yeah.
the conversation that's spurned the internet about the guy with the tick who used the N word. Can we say the N word on this show?
I think we can say whatever we want to.
All right, I'll drop some later. But his the tick that he used the N word, and how the internet kind of erupted in a lot of good conversations
Maybe we
about.
should just say N word since it's daytime.
Okay. We got to catch you black girls after dark, and then you might
Oh, we
be a
should do
little.
that. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
But the conversations, um, they spun into things about who gets accommodations as somebody who has, um, challenges, whether they be physical disabilities, mental, psychological, and the
Mm-hmm.
idea that people were forgiving or excusing, the comment he made because of his condition, without acknowledging that regardless of his intent, there is harm that was caused that
Or
needs.
lack of intent, right?
Yeah,
If
yeah,
we
yeah,
if
yeah,
we
yeah.
really are riding the Tourette's way, that it was unintentional. Like you actually can pull on words that are not and phrases that are not in your everyday vocabulary. It's plausible.
Yeah, it is a legal defense for sure.
Yeah.
um I think some things have come to light in terms of how they edited other, things blurted out were edited out of the show, and this was allowed
Mm-hmm.
to be allowed to be aired. So
Yeah.
it's not just
They didn't want that free Palestine in there, but
no.
they did want that N word in
They
there.
did. And this is where we talk about not just individuals that cause harm to black people, but systems, and,
Mm-hmm.
and systems that take the opportunity to cause harm. And
Mm-hmm.
when we talk about the intersection of race and class and gender and disability, it brought me to a story. I'm gonna tell this as quickly as possible. Of when I was 8 and I beat up a 14-year-old white boy with Down syndrome, right? And I say this because I was defending him, and I say beat up because that's the story that was told.
Mm-hmm.
But what happened was, at the Boys and Girls Club I grew up going to in North Minneapolis, black community, they separated it. One side was for the 6 to 12 year olds. One side was for the 13 to 17 year olds. Makes sense, age appropriate, right? There was a 14-year-old white boy, and because they said his developmental abilities were at the level of an 8-year-old, they put him on the side with us 6 to 12 year olds. And his grandma convinced the folks at the Boys and Girls Club that that's where he belonged, that he wouldn't be safe around kids his own age. And he terrorized us. He would dig in his nose and wipe snot all over the arcade machines. He would roll the pool balls while you're trying to play pool or shoot pool. He would push people. He would yell in people's faces. And us, as little black kids, were told that we couldn't do anything. We had to be kind to him. We had to allow him to play. We had to, make him feel welcomed. And one day I'm shooting pool, and he comes and he hits me in the face with a pool stick. My nose is bleeding. And they spent the day, convincing me that it was an accident, and telling my parents it was an accident. And that was how it was treated. Oh, we shouldn't get upset with him. Um, and for me, it just kind of brought up the reality that when you're looking at the intersection of race, class, gender. So I say that for black girls with disabilities or conditions, we don't get accommodations, right? We get called loud, we get called violent, we get called too much. But here it is, this kid almost twice my age, right, being allowed. I mean, like, my nose was like broke. He literally hit me in the face with a pool stick,
Yeah.
and being told, like, you got to just deal with it. So then, like, a
Be
couple
kind
weeks,
to him.
be kind to him at my own expense.
Yeah.
Couple weeks later, we're playing basketball. He would take the ball and run around and not give it back. But again, we were told we had to let him play. So a couple weeks later, he grabs the basketball and tries to throw it at me, and I just charged him. I was trying to beat some sense into him, and I got suspended for like two
Save
weeks.
him from himself.
Yeah, yeah, I like that. Save him from himself. Yes, yes, give him something to think about, right, in terms of how to exist in community. But it just, that situation brought that up for me because um again, I got punished. I got labeled, oh, this kid is violent. She's got a temper. She doesn't know how to treat people. And nobody even realized that at a point of being in a space where I wasn't protected, at some point I had to stand up for myself, right? And I say that because a lot of the conversations were like, well, Black people with disabilities don't get to say, cracker or yell out racial slurs, or we get kicked out of class for being too anxious or being disruptive. So when I saw that in the conversations around that, it kind of reminded me, some Black girlhood, situations where, like, as you said, we don't have safety. We don't have the benefit of the doubt. We don't have protection. And the ways in which that a lot of times at young ages, we got to figure out how to protect ourselves, so.
What's what came up for me when you were talking about that is an incident that happened when I was second grade, I think. And I just want to preface it by saying I thought of it because you're talking about like protecting ourselves and standing up for ourselves, that kind of thing. One, how rarely we get to do that. But then also because we are Black and girls, and then whatever else you add to that, how it really doesn't matter. So I got a new purse when I was in second grade from JCPenney. So cute. A little blue purse with a flap on it, had some different color rhinestones. Very excited. At recess, twirling the purse around over my head like a helicopter because I'm in second grade.
Before Petey Pablo.
Yeah, I am mother. But so I'm doing that, and I hit my friend in the face, a white girl. Definitely was an accident. Teacher storms over. This girl, Tracy, is her name. Tracy tells the teacher that it was an accident in the midst of crying, because it hurt, obviously. And I'm just like, I'm so sorry, whatever. And Tracy was like, no, no, no. She wasn't trying to do that. The teacher, her form of corporal punishment was shaking me, grabbed me by my shoulders, and shook me, like violently shook me. Of course, I guess at the time when you're punishing someone, there has to be a witness. So this white teacher is shaking the out of me. And there is another teacher standing there watching, laughing.
Laughing is wild.
I didn't tell my mother about that until I was in the 6th or 7th grade.
Wow.
Like, I have to be the problem. Actually, me saying that comes up a lot in my growing up. Anyway, but yeah, it's like I have to be the problem because she told her it was an accident and she is still doing this to me. So yeah, I just thought of that when you like sometimes because we are Black and women, and again, whatever else you add onto that, it doesn't matter if you stand up for yourself or somebody else. You're still the problem.
Yeah, that's a fact.
You're still the problem.
Yeah, that's a fact. It's like now it's somber
Yeah.
because this is a reality that a lot of us deal with regularly.
Yeah.
You know, I think Monique Morris's push out work
Yeah.
about the way that Black girls and Black girlhood is policed in schools. Serious, it's multi generational. You know,
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
homeschool the children, people.
Some people should not take that advice. Maybe let your neighbor homeschool.
Yeah. Listen. You don't have to be the teacher of your kids'
Yeah.
homeschool.
Let's be clear about that. Let's be clear about that.
Yeah, you don't. Mm-mm. Everybody is not gifted to teach.
No.
And a lot of people not gifted to teach are in schools. And a lot of people that don't like children are teachers. And a lot of people who are
Because
racist
if you can't do
teach
anything
black
else, you
people.
can teach.
I now that I hate.
You can teach.
Maybe yeah. If you can't get a job doing nothing else,
Just go teach.
they gonna put you in charge of some kids' development. Yikes.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah. So I share that because and I thank you for sharing that. I haven't heard that story. Um, I love the fact that we're making references to antiquated stuff that people of a certain age will certainly enjoy. Because I can't remember the last time I seen a J.C. Penney's. Um,
Oh, there's one here that's still open. Well, it's not in Jackson proper, but it's still open.
I remember J.C.'s Penney's top of the line. But I also bring up these stories because we let that distract us, right? So instead of, because the thing is, why did we, not we, but why did folks turn into the award show anyways? Right? They turned in because Sinners, a movie that we love or love to hate, was up for a lot of awards, and we wanted to, we wanted something to cheer about. We wanted something to celebrate. And the movie broke records at the award show, and it's like we didn't even get to celebrate it because we were so wrapped up in the conversation about, you know, white people getting to be disrespectful in public and black people having to show grace, you know.
Yeah. You used the word distraction, and I remember when we were talking just the other day, you brought up Toni Morrison saying that racism is a distraction. But a thing we didn't talk about, I'm also trying to lighten this a little, is how the people these days, they don't like Toni Morrison because she was mean and stuff. They be saying they don't like that.
They don't.
Mm-mm. They don't like when people have boundaries and standards for themselves, even though they have boundaries and standards for themselves. And you're not gonna talk to me that way. You're not gonna do this. You're not gonna do that. But then we'll go back and look at things and be like, "How dare she? She didn't give me a hug.
Yeah,
Maybe the lady had COVID. Like, I don't.
maybe she didn't want to hug you.
Yeah, I don't. It's very odd.
It
But yeah,
it
you're not supposed to like Toni Morrison anymore.
Yeah, I've heard that. And
Down
it be
with
coming
Toni.
from people who don't read
Yeah.
and who don't listen. So I just I just nod and walk away. Like I just nod and walk away. I
You
think it,
not.
I mean, yeah. There's nothing more cool from me than a dismissive nod because it's an affirming vertical nod, but I'm like this, yeah, you
I think my go-to is okay.
see, that's a nod. Yep.
Oh, I did not,
Yeah, that's
but yeah, I just be like, okay.
yep, you got it. And then it shows me who to not engage with in the future.
How do you determine when is a time to engage for the purposes of like exchange and learning and teaching and whatever, and when to just say okay and keep it moving?
Here
But we
here
have more people joining too, by the way.
yay,
I'm
welcome
trying to do a
everyone.
good job of looking at the chat and engage in conversation. And as a person with my own neurodivergencies, let me just tell you, I'm gonna be so tired when this is over, trying to engage and
Yeah, 100%. No,
breathe.
100%. 100%.
That's a
Like,
lot of work, y'all.
yeah, same, same. Um,
You can't say same. You're not reading the comments. I am.
okay, the reason I'm not is because I know how overwhelming it's gonna be.
Oh, you just leaving me out here
No,
like
no,
Tracy.
no.
I'm just
I
playing.
I'm waiting to jump in, and I haven't
Oh,
I haven't figured out when to yet. Like,
go ahead.
we're new to this, but here's the thing. Speaking to your point, the exhaust, because as a fellow neurodivergent, right? I'm weighing the level of exhaustion versus the level of um reach, right? So I think what sucks for me is I'm a teacher.
Yeah.
So I spend my work time trying to help students be smarter than social media, right? Trying to debunk a lot of stuff they come into the classroom with because they seen it on the YouTube or
Yeah.
they read it in the thread. So in my personal time, sometimes I try not to do that. Um, I think where I
Yeah.
do is one, I never engage the people. Well, not never. Yes, I never engage the people directly. What I will do is use something to broadcast it to a larger platform of people that I think it might make sense to. Like just recently, we just Mardi Gras just happened, and oh, this is gonna be a plug for the Lighthouse anyway. But Mardi Gras just happened, and there's a lot of folks. I saw two wild comments. One comment was that like Black Americans need to have their own Mardi Gras, and this is from people who want to be Black American in a way that's completely detached from the diaspora and the continent. So to
Oh,
say,
that what's it called? Foundational black.
do you
What's
don't
it called?
we don't gotta say it.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was for my own clarification. I'm sorry. It
No,
just ignore that.
we not finna just like sinners, we not finna welcome them in. You gotta welcome them in. So now I'm not finna
Okay.
mention them, but
That's
yes, but then people, right?
okay. Okay.
Um, and they were using like the black masking Indians as evidence of foundational
Stuff.
nativeness, right? Um, and because
Wait,
I
wait.
felt,
I'm sorry. Clarification.
yeah,
So they're what they were saying now?
they said that Black Americans need our own Mardi Gras. And they were saying, look, these masking Indians are evidence that we are the native people, because they just saw the suits and they were like, oh, Black people in feathers, right? So
I do like a
I'm
good
going somewhere
feather
with
though.
this,
I like a
but
good feather accent.
I because Africans like feathers.
Yeah.
Anyways, so so a woman posted a video clip. It was a beautiful clip, beautifully articulated. A woman who, I can't remember her name, but she's actually part of a tribe. And she was saying that she was explaining the history of how the masking Indians are a black, they're a black practice. And they came out during Mardi Gras because Black people weren't allowed during the celebration. And she was saying that New Orleans, as the most African city in the United States and uh, the northernmost Caribbean city, right? She was just talking about how all these cultures come together, through this tradition. And I, on Threads, I quoted her and I said, so beautifully said. Now I can just forward people to your commentary when they try to like separate New Orleans from the continent and the diaspora, right? And I was just giving her kudos.
Mm-hmm.
And then a whole bunch of bots, with these three letters just came and they just came and tried to attack me. Um, and I was like, oh, I'm not gonna go back and forth with them. But I knew that in that moment, that conversation was gonna get a lot of attention, right? So I took the opportunity to speak to the larger audience that may need some clarification, right? So the bot came and was like, "Oh, this is so funny. You don't even know that Mardi Gras and Carnival were started by Europeans, right?" Because I had made a comment to say, Mardi Gras and Carnival are evidence of the resilience of African people in the New
Right.
World. They were literally ways that we preserved our African traditions with subversive methods using Eurocentric symbols. She was like, Carnival and Mardi Gras are from European colonizers. And then she screenshotted two AI summaries from the Google.
I'm about to school you, professor.
Listen, right? So I was like, oh, this is great. So I was, so I didn't respond directly to her, but I used it as an opportunity for anybody who was watching the conversation. to clarify and say, yeah, thank you for showing that. You proved my point, and then just reiterated it.
Mm-hmm.
It got a lot of reposts and stuff like that. But I, try. So long story long is, if I see an opportunity to engage a larger audience using them kind of as the gateway to that, I'll do it. But I'm not arguing with bots on the internet. I can't do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did a whole series on masking Indians on Black Girl Time.
Yup. That's what. Yep. That's what
Yeah.
I. It's really good too.
I think like it's like four. I think four stories and a photo story.
Yes.
Yeah. And
We'll
we're gonna
have a
do
link
more.
somewhere to
Oh
that.
yeah, yeah.
I don't know how that goes, but
Me either. We don't. That's not. That's for our producer person. Um, give the people the link.
right, right. Yeah. If you put it right there,
Yeah.
subscribe, whatever, whatever. We got to get a script. I know the podcast people be like, subscribe to my channel and thumbs up in the comments,
No,
whatever.
we don't need a script. That sounds stressful. So we only have probably a few more minutes in our introductory episode of
Going pretty good.
Grown Black Girls. What else? Is there anything else that we want to leave with the people today?
Thanks. Thanks for joining us in this maiden voyage. We're enjoying it. Like
Yeah,
like I
it's been
say,
fun.
you're one of my favorite people to talk to. So this is also just
Aw.
something to start the Friday off well.
Yeah.
So
Oh
yeah,
yeah. There's a thing. It's our intention to do this right now. Every other Friday. So we'll every other Friday morning at 10:30 Central Standard Time.
Central Standard Time.
Mm-hmm. Um, yeah, and I want to give a special shout out and gratitude to Diallo and Erica, and African World Order, um,
For
for
sure.
not, for not only hosting us, but also just being like quality people, just quality people.
They really are. Yeah.
Yeah.
You was gonna give you was gonna give a shout out, another shout out.
Well, I was gonna ask. So we started this. I was gonna do it at the beginning, but then I decided to wait until the end because I don't know how my emotions was gonna be set up. So we started this. We chose to start our inaugural episode on my mom's birthday. And we lost my mom on the 30th of December in 2024. And this is the first time I've said that like to an audience or, I talk about my mom a lot. You'll find that I bring her up all the time. But it was just really, I don't know. It just seemed like the right thing to do for me. And thank you for obliging that we started on her birthday. An amazing woman. And yeah,
Thank you. Yeah. We get to carry on tradition, which is a beautiful thing.
yeah, yeah. So happy birthday, mama.
Happy birthday.
Well, we thank y'all. Sometimes, we might go a little under an hour. Sometimes we might go a little over an hour, but yeah, from about 10:30 to 11:30 every other Friday, like I said, to start. And we hope you'll join us. Thank you so much for all the people who tuned in, especially since we did a terrible job of advertising that we were starting. And by terrible, I mean we did not tell anybody.
I did not. I tried to send
So,
text like halfway through. It was like,
yeah. So the people who are here, I really appreciate it. Charity really appreciates it. And yeah, we will see you in 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Yeah. Thank y'all. Y'all have an amazing weekend. Women's History Month is coming next. Do we say Happy Women's History Month?
I don't know if people say that or not. I really don't know.
It depends on the level of whitening that's happened. Well, I it's Women's History Month, but for me, it's Black Women's History Month,
That's the next month.
Oh, we get 3 months.
Yeah, Black Women's History Month is April.
I didn't even know. Look, we finna take the calendar over.
Yeah.
Soon as because whenever Indigenous Month is, I'm because as a foundational, I'm a,
We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. We are not gonna do that.
I
Oh,
apologize.
you know what? Sometimes I just learned this from Diallo and Josephus. At the end of their show, they see if people have things to say in the chat, and they answer questions and stuff. But
Next, when we invite, yes, when we invite more people, we will do that.
you mean
But
more when we invite people at all?
Yeah, I mean 1 is more than 0.
But we got more than one.
No, I'm saying 1 is more than 0, so more than none. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you definitely don't teach math.
Is 1 not more than 0?
It just I didn't like the way you said that, but that's okay. But guess what? We really are gonna hang up. But the music, our introductory music, is ready to play. So I think we're gonna go out on the introductory music. Well, it's really more talking than music, but whatever. So yeah. We'll just stay here for
I can't go out without changing my clothes, my shoes, my body posture. I can't do what I want to do with my own body, and who in the hell set things up like this?
Of course.
I was wrong again to be me, being me where I was. Wrong to be who I am. I am very familiar with the problems of the CIA, and the problems of white America in general, and the problems of the teachers and the preachers and the FBI and the social workers and my particular mom and dad. I am very familiar with the problems because the problems turn out to be me. I am the history of the terrorized incarceration of myself. I am the history of battery, assault, and limitless armies against whatever I want to do with my mind and my body and my soul. I am not wrong. Wrong is not my name. And I can't tell you who the hell set things up like this, but I can tell you that from now on, my resistance, my simple and daily and nightly self-determination may very well cost you your life.